Today, we're diving into a 50-year-old forgotten theory by Nobel laureate Robert Merton. It proves why your standard 60-40 portfolio might be failing you. More importantly, we're going to look at how you can actually calculate your way to a happier retirement. But first, to understand why your brain is wired to struggle with investing, let's play a quick game. Imagine I offered you a six-sided die. If you roll a 6, you get $6. If you roll a 1, you get $1. Mathematically, your expected winning is exactly $3.50. So, if I charge you $3 to play, you should take that deal every single time. It's a guaranteed net gain. But what if I scaled it up? What if the cost was $30,000 for just one roll? You have a chance to win $60,000 or lose $20,000. Suddenly, your heart rate spikes. Even though the expected profit is still a massive $5,000, most of you would walk away. Why? Because humans don't actually care about average returns. We care about happiness. This brings us to a crucial question. Why do we react so differently when the stakes change, even when the math says go? The answer lies in something economists call diminishing marginal utility of wealth. It's a fancy way of saying that the more money you already have, the less you enjoy getting even more. Think about it. For someone who can't afford food, $1 million is life-transforming. But that second or third million? It raises living standards by far less. This is why we fear loss more than we crave gain. As you get wealthier, the pain of losing what you have far outweighs the joy of gaining more. Research shows that a 50-50 risk on a big chunk of your savings is simply not worth it, because the impact of the loss hits way harder than the win. So, if our intuition is based on fear, how do we invest rationally? Well, in 1969, Robert Merton solved this. He created what is now known as the Merton Share. Instead of using arbitrary rules of thumb like the 60-40 rule, which, let's be honest, nobody can really explain, Merton used math to balance a desire for returns with an aversion to risk to maximize expected happiness. Here's how the science works. The Merton Share says your investment in risky assets should equal the excess return of stocks over safe bonds, divided by your personal risk aversion, multiplied by the square of the asset's volatility. To see why this matters, let's look at a quick example. Imagine you expect stocks to return 5% more than bonds. If market volatility is at a normal level, say 20%, the formula might suggest you put 50% of your money in stocks. But here's the game changer. If a crisis hits and volatility doubles to 40%, Merton's math doesn't just tell you to hold on. Because the formula uses the square of volatility, your optimal stock position is cut by 4 times. Your 50% allocation would plummet to just 12.5%. You aren't panic selling, you are mathematically protecting your happiness. Does this actually work? The data says, absolutely. Researchers Victor Hagani and James White crunched the numbers from 1900 to 2022. They compared a standard 65-35 portfolio against a dynamic Merton portfolio. The standard portfolio returned 8.5% annually. The Merton-style portfolio returned 10% annually. But here's the most remarkable part. The Merton strategy actually outperformed a 100% stock strategy, all while involving 40% less risk. It proves that being a daredevil isn't just stressful, it's actually less efficient than being strategically calculated. If this is so effective, why isn't your wealth manager talking about it? To be blunt, it's often not in their interest. It takes sophistication to stay the course, and many managers would rather sell you the dream of the next big thing than talk about risk-adjusted utility. But Merton's 50-year-old idea forces you to confront reality. It teaches you to never risk the necessary in the hope of winning the superfluous. The ultimate goal of investing isn't the biggest number on a spreadsheet, it's to maximize your happiness. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next briefing.